Yo, BJ Gaddour with the Daily BJ, and this is the single band stomach shredder, an awesome core workout that will really strengthen imbalances and weaknesses throughout your body. Core, shoulders, hips, all that good stuff. You need a single band that you can attach to a low anchor point like a power rack, a pole. I even sometimes attach it to a sandbag. There are lots of ways you can do this. You can also use cables if you want, but bands are unique because they give you that peak tension. As they stretch, the resistance increases, so they tend to be a little more joint friendly and really give you the resistance you want at the range of motion you want it the most. So consider that. You want to do each of these moves for 30 to 60 seconds of work. The low end would be for higher intensities or beginners who are new to this protocol. 60 seconds would be more of an endurance-based protocol with lighter loads, and you want to keep the rest between moves 15 to 30 seconds. 6 total moves that are unilateral, that means 12 total. So switch sides on each move before going to the next exercise. Here we go. First one, you're going to start with the band here. You're basically splitting the middle of your body the entire way. I start here, slight bending the elbows are fine. You're gonna pull the ribs and shoulders down, clench the glutes, crunch the abs, keep the head tall, eyes ahead, and just come here to here. Slow and controlled. We're working anti-rotation and anti-lateral flexion. The band wants to pull me like this, tilt and turn. So I'm fighting to keep my hips and shoulders square ahead, dig those toes down into the ground hard, and if you have a impingement issue with the shoulder, you can stop at chest or even head forehead level, or just get a little more bend in the elbows. That'll make it, shorten that lever a bit, make it a little more accessible. If you can go totally straight arm, that's ideal as long as you don't feel any impingement in the shoulders. So you'll do all your work on one side, switch sides, and repeat. I'm using a pillow and pad. You can get both the sand dune stepper and the bands I use at gardenofgains.com. So I'll put that away. From there, all right, and follow the order in the description of the video. I'm just going to show all the moves. We're going to go into a side plank abduction row. The abduction is harder, so if that's too difficult for you, just stay with the legs stacked. But from there, going to lift up, hold, squeeze, come right through. Squeeze, come right through. Obviously, that is a much easier option. You could also go between a rep raised and then a rep down if that's too hard to hold. But again, these are 30 to 60 second work periods, so we're not trying to do this forever. We're trying to intensify these core moves, give more of a muscle building and strength and stability stimulus. Okay, you'll do both sides. Then we go into a front plank pull down with a rotational action here. So get into a plank position, keep the hips and shoulders square to the ground. Start overhand, finish underhand, working the lats, but also the entire front side of the body. It's actually a total body move here. All right, work hard to stabilize, keep the hips and shoulders square. The wider the feet, the more stable this is. So you can play around with that. And if you want, even sometimes I'll add some 1 to 5 second pauses right here to intensify. So you've got some options that way. Then we go hollow body fly, anti-rotation, chest, core, crusher. So what we're gonna do first, hollow body position means you flatten the low back into the ground, lift the shoulders, crunch the abs, start tucked, and then from there extend the legs out while keeping the low back flat into the ground. Arms are here, maybe a little more separation, all right? And I'm gonna lock in, one arm pulls in just like that. Keeping the shoulders off the ground, squeezing the legs together, clenching the thighs, the glutes, pointing the toes to get a little more midline tension into it, all right? And that band wants to pull me away, but I'm fighting to stay stable. Amazing movement. You'll feel this all over the ribs, trunk. Light that ass up. Okay, from there, glute bridge, hip flexion. So, place the band on the work leg foot here. Technically, both legs are working. The band leg is working hip flexion, hip flexors. The other leg is working hip extension, glutes. So I'm gonna get into you wanna start where when the leg is straight, there's a little tension in the band. Bridge up, rib shoulders down, abs crunch. Sometimes even like to kind of tuck the chin and lift the head off the ground. That helps you engage better core positioning. Choice is yours, but keeping the hips fully extended on this side. And I'm really gonna not only drive through here, but really drive through that opposite leg hip to get full extension. So I'm getting reciprocal hip flexion extension, great for running, lunging, squatting, flexing, all right? Have some fun with that. Again, you'll feel the abs on that too, big time. And then the final move in the sequence, and I didn't show these in order, but just follow the sequence in the description of the video, is a Split squat, iso, face pull. Open up the hip flexors, strengthen hips and thighs. Isometrically, dynamically working upper, mid, back, rotator cuff, scapular muscles, bulletproofing everything. So get locked in, sink down, and then chest up, squeeze the back butt, pull the rib shoulders down, pull apart and make kind of that rear double bicep pose, pull right back. So pull it right to the forehead, and we're just working everything here in a really good way. Squeeze, corrective, mobility, stability, and yes, muscle gain. We're working a lot of those small stabilizer muscles that if they're not strong and firing the way you want, the big primary muscles can't go the way you want. You'll get injured. It's about longevity, but it'll also shred up your whole body in a good way. Enjoy this workout. Subscribe to my channel. Check out thedailybj.com for more minimal equipment home workouts you can take to the gym, and go to GardnerGains.com for all my equipment with discounts. Peace.